Jamal Jones. What's up, Jack?
Nice to meet you, man.
Yeah,
Thanks
man.
for being here. Thanks for being here with Folio. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name is Jamal, actually Jamal Jones, but Maul is like a name I acquired from all my nieces and nephews.
Mm-hmm.
They called me Uncle Maul, so that became my nickname.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where the Maul Jones come from. It's actually my government name, but cut, you know. About myself, I'm a hip hop artist. I'm really an artist that uses hip hop as my brush to paint things with. I do poetry, I do spoken word, I write poems, I host the cipher out here every month. I do music, everything with a lot of the things with the spoken word, I see through a hip hop lens, not just the lens of an average person that does those same things, but more like, you know, through the lens of the culture that I came up in.
Absolutely. And I know from the Hulu documentary, you're from the Bronx. So what brought you to Jacksonville, actually?
Yes. What got me to Jacksonville, when we first moved from the Bronx, I moved from the Bronx when I was 5 years old. Then we moved to New Jersey.
Okay.
And then from that point to it was about 5 years, when I was 10, we moved to Florida, to Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Okay. Yeah.
So I was kind of, you know, before I got to Jacksonville, I had already got acclimated to the South through, you know, living down there near Miami, and we did that for a few years, and we just, after that, my mother moving, we just ended up in Jacksonville when I was 16, when I went to high school. So I went to high school, graduated from Robert E. Lee, but yeah.
Yeah, man, I'm from South Florida too. I'm from Fort Lauderdale also.
Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. Broward County is where
So you started Lyricist Live. What is it, and why did you feel compelled to start this?
Well, I always been like the rapper who like was like communicable with other rappers, like whether we was like collaborating doing songs or like doing the cipher, just rapping together. A cipher is just a circle of MCs trading perspectives through a hip hop lens, and I had a lot of friends that did that, and I would get us all together and host those things. Now, it wasn't like, back in the day, it wasn't like I host an event. It was like, let's meet in this alleyway over here at midnight, you know, on Saturday. And I got the box and we playing beats and we're all rapping. And that grew into the clubs. Shout out to The Cave. My man Jamie had a hip hop club that we would spit in. And from that point, just doing my own things in Jacksonville. From the Lyricist Live show actually was on a like a podcast style show where there was a portion where I, you know, did the rapping and had the cipher. Because I did these ciphers, like at this point I was known for doing like hosting hip hop cipher style events. Like, so different entities would like work with me to kind of do it. If they were doing hip hop, they would work with me. Like I had a cipher that went on 92.7 when we were 92.7 the beat. It's 93.3 now. And every Saturday we had like a cipher, and I did that for some months. And that was cool, man. But all that to say, you know, I have a long history of, you know, being cultural with this skill set, freestyle rap.
Gotcha. And so this kind of feeds into our next question. What kind of impact do you have on young rappers? And do you only kind of invite young rappers to the Lyricist Live, or do you invite like adults also?
Yeah. Well, to answer that question, like very clearly, I've had 70-year-old men out there rapping on the microphone with a 10-year-old. I've had, teenagers rapping with their little sister. It touches all demographics of people, like all kinds of people, all cultures of people, all types of relationships of people. And that's how I learned how to get into like freestyle rap. It was something we did in the car with each other. It was fun. And, our mother would join in. It's kind of like a family tradition. And that's how I became the first hip hop artist in Florida history to be labeled a folk artist by the Florida Folklife Program and Division of Historical Resources, because I was showing hip hop through a lens that was educational and showing that it was a traditional passed down skill set. And yeah,
man, that's great stuff. So
yeah.
Congratulations on being the first folk artist.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So
Yeah.
I love rap music.
Yeah.
Are there any like young rappers or kind of new like artists that you might have an eye on that people should maybe labels should look out for, anything like that?
There's so many. Like today at the cipher, there's gonna be so many that come. That would mean like picking up one needle in a haystack and saying, hey, because Jacksonville is known for being a very talented city. There's a lot of them. To single one out, I mean, we could either do that or I sit here for 20 minutes and tell you everybody who I think deserves a fair mention. But there's an artist who I work with who is my first like folk apprentice for the state, because I started an apprenticeship program with the Florida Folklife Program, and that artist is Amari Morrell, who I'm on the Hulu documentary with.
Yeah.
And they show how like I mentored him throughout. There's this very violent subgenre culture of rap, and how can I can inspire him with what I do with rap to do what he does in a kind of a way that inspires the generation that he's in. So
Yeah. And so on that, Amari Morrell, he said in the Hulu documentary, tough guys don't last long. How did you teach him that? Like, how do you instill that in the people who you mentor?
News for Jax. You can just show him any of those stories and say, this is a path that you don't want to be on. And here's a path that people actually listen to you on. People, you can actually, if you feel like you need to express yourself or get your word out, you have something to say, here you go. Boom, I'm gonna present you as a person that can say that. So here's the responsibility of being a rapper. There you go. And that's what I do.
Yeah. So, to kind of detour a little bit, how do the kids pick the beats in Lyricist Live? Do you have like a pre-made kind of like track that that just goes for like as long as it needs to?
Yeah.
Or do they kind of bring their own tune and go off that?
All right, there is no such thing as picking beats, right? We don't give that opportunity to a rapper that's coming up and is supposed to be talented, meaning whatever beat's playing, I can shine my light on it. That's what I know. Those are the type of artists I know that gain success, is that if I have an opportunity, it doesn't matter what's going on, I can still shine my light with any opportunity. If you play like 80s metal around me, I'm gonna be the best. I'm gonna be the best representative right there, because I've studied music culture and movements my whole life. My father was a jazz musician. Like I've always been interested in jazz musicians. My brother, when I said that, my brother was a metal fan. I had a brother that was really a pivotal member in the early like stages of hip hop in the parks in New York City with Grandmaster Flash. He was one of the kids that was there. So he has relationships with these people. I used to see him go outside, you know, dressed in his Chanel jacket and all of that, and wish I could go there. And then I grow up seeing that, okay, that's what it was. That's why I was drawn to it. And now I can inflict the culture, like, in a positive way. And, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. So, as you said before, like the News for Jax line that you had, brilliant, by the way.
Yeah.
Some rappers from Jacksonville promote violence. Do you think there's a way for people to become more aware of it and even like help prevent it, like just, you know, kind of everyday individuals?
Yeah. Support the lyricist live and things like it. You know, don't let the trash have the most generated cash flow. It's something positive that has a long track record, and you can't really hold the candle to it in its realm of positivity and how it affects the youth, like all across this state, you know, all over the state of Florida. And we've been in schools in Tallahassee. We've been in about every Duval County public school. I'm in JEA. I've written 2 songs for JEA that teach kids about electrical safety, water conservation. These are the tools. Hip hop, rap music, there's my phone. Rap music is a tool to educate, not just spew debauchery, even though sometimes that's appropriate. You know, but ultimately when you're out in public with these, you know, kids and children, there's a way you can kind of switch your craft to be something that has a positive incantation to it versus being negative. So, you know, that's what I do.
Go, man.
Yeah.
I think what you do is awesome, by the
Thank
way.
you.
Like, yeah. So last question: how can people aid in helping children stay safe and away from violence?
Listen to Maul Jones say, "Stop the violence" in rap form, right out here on the block where they can actually see him and actually, like, it's a rapper who can actually reach out and touch them and take a picture with a baby and, you know, just show the community as a whole that this is a positive thing. Yes, it has negative parts like any film, movie, whatever. There's violent movies and then there's movies that make you feel good. With rap, you can make any one of those movies, you know? And that's why I took what I do with the Lyricist Live downtown, like be able to show that because, you know, rap has a bad rap, you know, when it comes to the community and like the children in it. So, you know, with the Lyricist Live in Jacksonville, Florida, we changing things. We on Hulu right now, episode 26 of a show called Impact by ABC Dateline. And yeah, they did a very great job of telling my story and telling a story about a very important, serious issue that's happening in our community and within the culture of rap music, a subgenre of rap music. So, yeah.
Well, thank you, man. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for talking to Folio. I appreciate your time.
Yes, man. Thank you.
Man.
Bro, yes, man. Like, I knew you was a cool person, bro. I knew you was a cool person, man. Yeah, man. Appreciate it.